I have the flower.
I went to the Mattel website to see what was coming out in connection with the new Masters of the Universe movie, and this is what I found. Floral He-Man. There are a lot of questions to ask about it. I'm going to start with, what is it? It's He-Man, but with flowers. What is it supposed to be? Mattel presents it unironically as an artistic reimagining of He-Man. They must have known they were putting out something that people would see as kind of silly, but the way they present it is they got together with this artist, James Jean, and he created this painting that he says is inspired by the Battle of Anghiari. That's a Leonardo da Vinci painting, which has actually been lost, and all that remains is the original drawing. And there's nothing floral, as far as I can see, or coral, since there's also coral Skeletor. I think it's more about recreating the poses and the energy of that painting. And where the flowers come from, I think maybe he was trying to give us something to say, are we supposed to take this seriously or not? Are they giant flowers, or did He-Man and Battle Cat get shrunk down? With Coral Skeletor, I can imagine a story where he goes on some underwater adventure and learns to harness the power of some magical coral or something like that. That's practically normal for these guys. But with Floral He-Man, I'm having a little harder time with the story. Maybe it's more an image than a story. A second question would be, is this supposed to be an action figure that you play with, or is it mainly a display piece? I'm going to say it's the latter. For one thing, there is more than normal amount of work going into the packaging and the box art. Aside from the intricate painting on the back, there's a display piece inside with the rock to mount Battle Cat on, and instructions for how to take the figure out of the box and put it back in. Unfortunately, there's a little corner that got chewed on. I'm not really sure how that happened. The second part of the player display question, to me at least, is the articulation. Now, I'm coming from the Transformers world where the bar for articulation and posability has gone up a lot since the 80s. I haven't kept up with Masters of the Universe. This figure at least doesn't seem to represent as much progress as I'm used to. The elbows and knees can bend now, but not a lot. The shoulders and hips and ankles are kind of limited too, especially with the flower armor. I tried to pose him for the by the power of Grayskull pose, but the arms don't really go up. So I guess it's mainly designed for the Battle of Anghiari pose. As a display piece, it's kind of fun to look at. The flower armor has some intricate molding and gold hair. The leaves are this soft pearlescent plastic with the sort of purple sheen to it, and it's kind of tricky to catch on camera. Battle Cat's armor can be detached pretty easily, especially the helmet, which is good because I don't know how he can see with that thing on. Does it red thing become a floral cyclops or something like that? I don't know. With He-Man, most of the flower stuff is just part of the figure. You can unbuckle it in back, but actually getting it off would require popping off the head and the waist, which I am not brave enough to attempt. Because, and that kind of brings me to the third question, is it worth the price? I don't want to mess around with a $100 figure. Is it worth that much for the art, the curiosity, the display? There's a lot that went into this in terms of packaging and the design and paint. For comparison, what I'm looking at is another toy that I recently paid about the same price for, which is Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. I went into this Optimus with concerns about its value. Now that I have both, I would say I think Studio Series Optimus Prime is the better deal. I'm trying to be objective about that and not say it just because I'm more of a Transformers fan. If you compare the Optimus itself to He-Man, Optimus has less paint, but it's more posable. You can transform it, has more parts. He-Man has an alternate pair of hands, but Optimus doesn't need it because he has articulated fingers, so Optimus wins there. Then let's compare Battle Cat to the trailer. Battle Cat has some articulation, though not as much as I would wish for. I would love it if he could sit down. Optimus's trailer opens, has a storage compartment and the roller vehicle and the repair drone. Less paint, I guess, but it's like 3 toys in one. I would give He-Man a bit of an edge in packaging. The box is nicer, and while they both come with a cardboard display backdrop, I feel like He-Man has just a bit more to it with the curve and the rock. Plus, Optimus can't fit on with his trailer. So He-Man wins that point. Overall, though, I do feel like Floral He-Man is kind of overpriced, and that's compared to a figure in the same price range that I already had concerned about, but it's an art piece, so value can be very subjective. So there it is, Floral He-Man, a Da Vinci-inspired display piece, maybe overpriced, definitely unique. Those are my questions and answers. Thanks for joining me.